The tempo is fast, jet fast, whizzing, whirling, blinding, blurring, sizzling, swishing, supersonic. And when someone fails to respect speed, or lets it get out of control, or is overconfident with it, things come to a screeching stop. And then the tempo is zero, dead zero. Or a slow, dragging pace for the rest of a lifetime, or merely a temporary halt, and then back again into the rushing mainstream. What makes the difference? Sometimes it's luck, but more often it's what a community has done or failed to do before the emergency.
Keynote speaker was Dr. J.D. Farrington, member of the Committee on Trauma, American College of Surgeons, and a prominent authority on emergency care of the injured. Dr. Farrington said that
our critical need throughout the country is to improve emergency care. It's your problem, my problem, the problem of the people in rural areas, small towns, and large cities. Every year, thousands of people die needlessly in traffic accidents due to emergency care that is inadequate or too late. One large hospital reported that over a 5-year period, they received hardly any accident victims that had received complete, adequate emergency care at the accident scene. We must do something about it now.
What is the driver thinking? Can't keep my eyes open. It's been a long trip. Better call it quits at the next town.
And this same national study, according to Dr. Farrington, indicates that 1 emergency out of 3 is in some way mishandled. The speaker said that few cities have ordinances regulating ambulances. He said fewer than half the ambulances in one
Her
state.
Her thoughts are not upon poorly equipped ambulances. What's she thinking? It was a nice vacation. I wonder how Jim feels. He must be tired. It'll be good to get home again.
For the second half of the program was Dr. O.T. Mallory, Medical Director for Employers Insurance of Wausau, who cited better communications as a major need.
1/3 of our cities have no central dispatch center, which is the only way for the key personnel in emergency care to maintain contact and coordinate action. One of the critical missing links in the communications network is often the ambulance. Many of them do not have two-way radios. Excellent care depends on excellent communication.
The big question, Dr. Mallory said, is how long before a distress call reaches the right source, and then how long before help reaches the injured person.
It happened in the middle of nowhere, as could happen to anyone, anytime, anywhere. Who does he turn to? How far away is a phone? A frightening question in a lonely night on a lonely stretch of road. How long before help can arrive? How long? How long? Minutes seem like hours. Who does he call? Hospital? Ambulance service? Local police? County or state police? He finally dials operator and contacts the nearest town. But how well have they planned and prepared? His own community has top quality emergency facilities. But now, far from home, he's totally dependent upon another town, one he's never heard of. How long before help reaches the seriously injured, while life may be running out? And when it does arrive, how well trained are the attendants? They are concerned, sympathetic, and possibly as uncertain as they are untrained. No doubt her back is injured. Could her spine be broken? Do they dare move her? Most people assume that, what can you do about it? Where do you begin? Whether you live in a small town or large, a look at what one community has done will give you ideas for action that you can take now, before the emergency. Minocqua, Wisconsin, and the adjoining village of Woodruff are in the heart of northern vacation land, rich with lakes, streams, and forests, which attract thousands of vacationers each summer. Life here is on the lively side, colorful, carefree. For the residents, it's activity as usual. A fishing enthusiast can put any hour here to
Police Department. Well, now calm down. Where is this location again?
One boy made a phone call. The chief of police hears disaster spelled out by a frantic young voice. It's a time for the general alarm. The siren shrieks the word to every key person in the area. Emergency, come quick. A busload of young people, all in need of fast and skillful help. How many are critically hurt? How many need instant attention? Already trained people are arriving with a common purpose. First, attend to injuries that immediately threaten life. Then, do what is necessary to get victims to the hospital promptly, but without aggravating their injuries. Here is where intensive training pays off, in the saving of human lives, human abilities, human futures. Each of these rescuers has had a 20-week course in emergency care given by a physician. 20 weeks of exhaustive instruction and practice in handling the injured swiftly and properly. The response is immediate, thorough, correct. And this in itself has a comforting, a reassuring effect upon the injured. Painstaking training and practice have fully qualified these men as emergency medical technicians. Even in the heat of crisis, they remember, protect the patient by strapping her in firmly. What happens in this crucial gap of time, from the crash until a physician takes over, might determine whether the injured recover in weeks, months, or years, or spend the rest of their days wheelchair-bound. The sliver of glass remains in her back, firmly bandaged, not to be removed until she is in professional hands. More evidence of training. This saw is the only way to reach some children who have been protected with asbestos blankets. With firemen, extinguishers, and hose lines ready, the saw rips through the metal. How many communities have rescue teams so well prepared and equipped? In fact, how many communities have trained rescue teams at all? As the motorist's spine is possibly broken, he is not moved until he is immobilized with a special collar and short spine board. Now he is ready for transporting, with little danger of further spinal cord injury. Emergency care like this can make the difference between permanent paralysis and full recovery. For hard-to-reach victims, a special rope sling enables rescuers to ease them out of the wreckage without magnifying their injuries. The quality of emergency care that is used in the critical gap of time and space between crash and hospital can spell the difference between life and death. Since her only injury is a possible leg fracture, which has been splinted, she is carried in a sitting position on a spine board, a most valuable type of emergency equipment. With proper care at the accident scene, it's almost never a necessity for an ambulance to risk collision by speeding dangerously to the hospital. What happens now might determine the entire future for this boy. Will his horizons remain broad and free? Or will he be sealed off within those narrow walls where the permanently disabled must live? What will it be? The parallel bars for a future Olympic champion? Or learning to walk again? What will it be? Hunting dog? Or seeing eye dog? What will it be? A firm grip for the flying start of a fast ride? Or to struggle to a sitting position? What will it be? A thrilling flip into the pool? Or a flip in a striker frame? What will it be? This chair? Or this one? What will it be? It's the planning, the preparation, the training before the emergency that often determines the answer. At Woodruff's Lakeland Hospital, the injured are received by a prepared staff, again according to plan. They are swiftly evaluated and tagged according to the seriousness of condition. Those in most critical need then get first attention. Patient and physician have been brought together in the shortest possible time and with the greatest possible skill and care. What happens in the crucial gap of time from the accident until the injured are in professional hands might determine whether they recover in days or weeks or months or years. Often, far more often than you realize, what happens in this gap of time determines whether a person lives or dies.
How am I doing, Doc?
Fine. Best dying act I've seen in a long time. Now you can get out of here. Hold it a minute. Let's get these bandages off and save them for the next rehearsal.
Yes, it was all a rehearsal, an exercise in the safeguarding of human life and abilities. The injuries, artificial and expertly applied. The blood, red food coloring. The screams, the hysteria, convincing play acting, and all for a good cause. These people run through a realistic exercise periodically. How long since it's been done in your town? What if disaster suddenly hit? What if a tank truck went out of control in the heart of your town? What if a partly completed building collapsed? Or an explosion ripped an industrial plant, and in one terrible second, scores of people were injured? A head-on collision of just two cars would be disaster for many communities. Is your town prepared to handle 10 or 12 people critically hurt in 1 second of impact? An important question to ask before the emergency. What does a concerned citizen do to start community action on emergency medical care? Where does he begin? He knows too well that stop-on-a-dime drivers are capable of creating emergencies anytime. So this man has taken a first step. He's on his way to a meeting he arranged with key citizens for the purpose of improving emergency care in his town.
Our problems demand one thing above all else: organized action. So our work's cut out for us. Once we get things rolling, our council will be our organizing force for coordination, evaluation, and implementation of this program. Representation of our council should include hospitals, medical societies, ambulance personnel, police, firemen, safety council, Red Cross, and others with potential safety roles. Once organized, this council shall pinpoint our major needs. Once we know them, we can get our heads together and map out a practical way to solve them.
If your community hasn't yet adopted the Model Ambulance Ordinance, here's an important goal. Passage of this ordinance would assure that your ambulances are fully equipped, your ambulance crews fully qualified.
Headquarters to Car 91. You have a code 2. Proceed to Highway 91 and County Trunk
Good
C.
communications are a must for swift and coordinated handling of emergencies. Does your town have a central dispatch center? Do your ambulances have two-way radios? Are your hospitals tied into the system so they know what to expect when ambulances arrive? You cannot escape this problem. It follows you, your family, everyone, wherever you go. It's a tough, complicated, costly problem. But just one determined citizen can get the action started. First, it's understanding, realizing that it can happen to you. Second, it's determination, getting the action started. Third, it's preparation, equipment, facilities, communication system. Fourth, it's training, getting your people ready for instant action. Finally, it's rehearsal, and rehearsal, and rehearsal, keeping your people and your system at peak efficiency. Tomorrow, our fast and ever faster tempo might propel you into sudden and terrible emergency.